Want to make a mermaid cake with me? Let's go. So first I'm going to start with my molds, and these are just seashells, and what I did was I melted some candy melts in all different colors, and I'm going to pour them into the molds, and then I'm going to get a Wilton food brush, and I'm just going to brush up against the chocolate against the mold so that it can get every single detail of that mold. These are really detailed little seashells, and then once I scrape them clean, I can put them in the freezer and then let them harden. And here is a mold I just worked on before. It was a beautiful mermaid tail, and as you can see, I loosen it by just going around the edges first and then popping it from the middle, and that's how I get it out. And then I'm going to make this mermaid tail have a little bit more detail with some edible accents by Wilton. It's a gold color, and it's just going to give it a gold luster to the tails. And I'm just going to give this more and more detail. When Mama said she wanted a mermaid cake, she said, my daughter asked for a mermaid cake with lots of sparkle. And I said, you got it. So I got some gold edible glitter, and I just went all over this cake, and I lustered everything up. I even got some silver glitter spray, and I just sprayed the entire cake when I was done with it to give her exactly what she wanted. And here I'm pouring some colors consecutively to make some waves. And all I do is I get a cake scraper against some wax paper, and I just kind of start going against it until I feel like it looks like a wave. And then once it's frozen, it pops right off. And I'm going to save this to put on top of the cake with the mermaid tails at the very end. And this is how they all came out. Everything has been dusted with some gold, and it looks beautiful and sparkly. And so I'm ready to start stacking the cake. This cake is chocolate cake with whipped cream frosting. And so the whipped cream is actually going to go on a little bit thinner than buttercream would, because it's just that's how whipped cream goes. But I know exactly why she wanted this. Chocolate cake with whipped cream frosting is so delicious. I was so happy to make this cake for her because I was going to be attending this party and enjoying this cake as well. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, whipped cream. Why not? I love it. So I was happy to do that. And here I'm just crumb coating the cake. It would be a shame to have all these beautiful designs with chocolate crumbs sticking out of the cake. So crumb coating is absolutely necessary. And once that's set for about 20 minutes in the freezer, I'm happy to start putting on the rest of the colors. And here I'm doing a purple, a dark teal, and a light teal to kind of create an ocean effect that's not just blue. And so I'm going to do something kind of like an ombre effect, and I'm just going to smooth it out with a cake scraper. And I'm just going to keep blending and blending and blending and adjusting until I get the effect that I want. And this is definitely a trust the process kind of situation here, because it looks terrible until it looks really great. It's just one of those things with cakes. You just have to keep swimming, just got to keep going and keep working on it. And eventually it'll look really, really good. And I was having an issue around the top there. It just, some of the frosting wasn't, it was almost like the cake was showing through. So I had to keep working on that. And then once I got that where I wanted, I got a curved cake scraper and I made these wavy lines. And it just kind of gave it more of an ocean effect to make it fun and cute for this little kid. And I don't know if you saw my pictures last week, but I had a pink whipped cream frosting for this other cake that I was working on, and it wasn't setting right. It just wasn't thick enough. So I ended up using it in my coffee all week. Well, what ended up happening was I used some of that pink to make coral on the very bottom of this cake, and that's how I got that, because waste not, want not, right? So I've just had this whipped cream in my fridge, and I said, why not? Let's throw on these details. Now I'm putting on all of my molds, and I'm just kind of putting them on as I think it looks right, and just playing with it and having fun with it. And this is just one of those things where there's no wrong way, and it was definitely fun. Now I'm going to put my waves on, and I'm going to secure the waves with some more frosting. So you'll see here I'm piping frosting, and this is just a mix of all the frosting that I scraped off the cake. So it's going to look blue and purple and white, and it looked really, really cool. I had a lot of fun actually doing that. And once I get the waves where I want them, I start adjusting them, and you'll see right here I actually break one of the waves, and it looked better than it did originally. So it was one of those happy accidents. Thank you, Bob Ross, for that phrase, because happy accident was exactly what that was. And then I just get some candy pearls, and I start throwing them all over the cake, and I had so much fun doing that. And this is how it turned out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.